Brenda. Welcome to Beach Yoga. Find your sit bones grounded into the earth here, maybe moving the flesh away if you need to. Resting the palms gently on the knees and sit nice and tall. Spine is long, crown of the head is reaching up towards the sky. Soften your gaze, looking out towards the ocean. Start to bring your awareness to your breath. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Notice the rise and fall of the shoulders and the chest. Expansion of the belly, the diaphragm, and the lungs. And each exhalation, try to make it maybe a brief second longer than your inhalation, allowing yourself to expel and release anything that's trapped inside your physical body. And your next inhale, start to reach the arms up towards the sky. Gaze goes towards the fingers, stretching the side bodies long, shoulders pressed away from the ears. And then on the exhale, releasing over towards Malibu, bringing that left hand or right hand down, left hand over your ear. Open up the heart towards the ocean and rooting down through both sit bones. Maybe turning the gaze to the sand, facing up that neck a little bit. And you're bringing it back to neutral as you inhale the arms back up. On the exhale, rinsing over towards Venice, bringing the left hand down, right arm over the ear, finding a nice length in that side body. Again, letting that gaze come down towards the sand if that felt good for you, and release the neck a little bit. Coming back to neutral and sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, both arms up overhead. Exhale, practicing the arms, opening the heart towards the sky, elbows towards the back body for a little back bending stretch here. And then inhaling the arms up overhead, hands come to touch. And gently bringing the palms in towards your heart center. Following that chin and shutting the eyes down for a minute. Taking 3 rounds of breath here. I invite you to set an intention for your practice this morning. There is no intention or reason for coming specific for today. Maybe you're just thanking yourself for showing up, allowing yourself this time and space in your schedule to connect to the elements and to your breath and to your internal spiritual body as well as your physical body. One more inhale through the nose, and on the exhale, releasing through the mouth, sighing it out, letting the hands come down to the knees, slowly making your way into a tabletop position. Finding your wrists and shoulders stacked over one another. Knees and hips are in alignment, pushing the earth away, spreading the fingers wide. We're going to move through our cat-cow. On the inhale, opening the heart, dropping the belly towards the mat, gaze high and cow. And on the exhale, closing the ribs, pushing through the sand, navel to spine, chin to chest in your cat. Inhale, opening in your cow, heart drops down, gaze goes high. And then exhale, curving your spine, chin to chest with cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cow. Moving through 3 or 4 rounds of cat-cow at your own pace with your own breath. Keeping the cycles even and consistent here. And that cow, opening the heart, finding space in the front of the heart. And on that cat, opening the space behind the heart. And then as you've gone through 3 or 4 rounds, feel a little more fluidity through the spine. Come back to that neutral tabletop position. Tucking the toes. On the inhale, we're going to hover the knees off the mat, finding that floating table. Core is tight, navel to spine, pushing the earth away, back of the neck long. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. One more time, inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose and release the knees down to the sand. Big toes to touch, knees separate and push back to child's pose. Letting the pelvis come towards the heels and extending the arms out in front, spreading the fingers wide. Creating some space and length between each vertebrae in this child's pose. Maybe moving the hips side to side a little bit, releasing the lower tension, that lower back. Slowly walking the hands over to the right side of the mat and then stacking that left hand on top. As you melt the heart down towards the mat, interlace the fingers, take a deep inhale, grasp your towel, and on the exhale, stretch up on that diagonal, finding a little space in that left side body, opening up that space between the ribs and sending the hips back. Deep inhale. On the exhale, maybe stretch and find a little more expansion here. Slowly releasing the grip on that side and making your way to your second side by walking the hands through center. Right hand this time stacks on top of left. Rooting back through both sit bones evenly on a deep inhale. Start to grab the mat or towel, and on that exhale, stretch out on that diagonal. Find some expansion in the right side of your body. Opening up the obliques, thinking of fanning the ribs open, creating some expansion and space in that right side. Deep inhale through the nose. On that exhale, maybe finding a little more expansion. Then coming back to center and releasing that bind. Arms are extended out in front. Slowly shifting back up to that tabletop position, separating the big toes so shins are parallel. On the inhale, start to opening up the heart towards Malibu, reaching that right arm high, gaze towards the sky, finding some yawning stretch here in that side body. On the exhale, thread that right hand through the arm and leg for thread the needle, placing the cheek down onto the mat, and then using the palms to press into the earth and spin the heart towards the sky. Option to bring that left arm overhead and use that as leverage to push against the earth and create a little bit more of a twist here. You can always take that left arm behind the back and hook it on the inside of the thigh, on that right leg to create a little bit more openness through the shoulder girdle. Take a deep inhale, maybe on the exhale, increase the twist just a little bit more. Press it into the palm of that right hand. Wherever you are, on your next inhale, start to unthread the needle, extending that arm back up, opening your heart towards Malibu. Taking 2 arm circles, letting the fingers come towards the ocean, get some rotation and movement in that shoulder girdle. Extending the arm up overhead and repeating that inhale as the arm comes forward. Exhale as the arm comes back towards the hip. Extend it up to the sky, and then releasing it back down to the sand. Setting up for our second side. On your next inhale, reaching that left arm high, heart towards Venice. Opening the chest, finding some stretch here. On the exhale, thread the needle. Left hand comes through the arm and leg onto the sand, letting that cheek come to the earth. Spinning the heart open towards the pier, aiming towards the sky above you. Maybe taking that right arm over your head, plugging the hand into the earth to spin that heart open a little bit more. If that bind felt good on the first side, taking that right arm back behind you and hooking those fingers on the left inner thigh. Create a little bit more expansion, openness through the shoulders as you breathe in deeply, then exhale it out. Wherever you are, releasing that hand on your next inhale, start to float that arm back up overhead, gaze towards Venice, and then bringing the fingertips towards the ocean. Arm circles with the left arm, reaching forward and then releasing back. With the breath, inhaling the arm forward, and as you release it back, exhale. Slowly bring that hand back down to the sand. And then walking the hands forward to the front of your mat, slowly lowering down onto your belly. Bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, rolling the shoulders back, feeling the elbows energetically connected towards your spine. We're going to lift to a baby cobra on the inhale, plugging your toenails into the earth on the inhale, bringing your heart forward and the crown of your head up. Coming up into baby cobra, finding some expansion through the front of the body and lengthen that spine. Beautiful. Deep inhale. Exhale and release. Let that cheek fall to the mat, turning the gaze to the side and releasing the hands by your sides. Option to repeat baby cobra. If you feel ready, you can come up into full cobra. Taking it our second time, chin is onto the mat, shoulders roll back, elbows pull towards the back body. On the inhale, lifting the crown of the head high, heart forward towards the ocean. Wherever you are in your warm-up here, be kind and gentle to your body. Take a deep inhale and release to the opposite cheek this time, letting those arms release by your sides. Bringing the hands underneath the shoulders. Slowly push yourself up and back into your child's pose. One more time, separating the knees, big toes to touch, and just rocking side to side, releasing that spine a little bit. Putting that back bending position of the cobra. And then start to parallel your shins and tuck your toes. And make your way towards the back of your mat by lifting the knees and walking the hands back towards your feet. Feet are about hip distance apart. We're going to start to lift the tailbone until your heels touch the mat. And then keep a bend in the knees and grab opposite elbows, hanging in ragdoll. Letting the crown of the head come down towards the sand. Belly is touching the thighs, and you're releasing that neck and letting the head fall off the spine. Maybe swinging your ragdoll side to side, shaking the head yes or no. Just releasing that lower back a little bit. Take a deep inhale. On your exhale, releasing the hands towards the earth. On the next inhale, start to lengthen the legs. Bring your heart forward, fingertips towards the shin. Extend the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Soften the knees if necessary, keeping the whole foot on the ground. Slowly rolling up. Shoulders pressed down, starting with the tailbone. The head is the last thing to arrive. As you come up to standing, reaching those arms up overhead. Interlacing the fingers and flipping the palms towards the sky. Taking a full body stretch here, reaching over towards Malibu. Root through both feet so you're not shifting your weight into one side. Beautiful. Coming back up on the inhale. Exhale, reaching towards Venice. Coming back up through center on the inhale, lengthening the spine. Opening up the heart towards the sky. Exhale, small back bend. Coming back up to neutral on the inhale, and now creating that cat shape through the spine, chin to your chest, curving, pressing the palms towards the ocean. Coming back up to that neutral stance, and then sweeping the arms out your sides, coming into mountain pose. Beautiful. Making any adjustments you need as we start through our first flow. Coming into mountain pose, bring your awareness back to your breath here, taking a deep inhale, exhaling out. Inhale one more time. Exhale it out. Beautiful. On the next inhale, reaching those arms up overhead. On the exhale, forward fold through center, bringing the hands down through the center of your body, releasing the crown of the head. Slowly walking your hands out to the top of a plank. Option to lower the knees if necessary. Taking 3 rounds of breath in this plank pose. Deep inhale through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Being mindful that your navel is pressing towards your spine. You're pushing away from the earth so that upper back is almost in that cat shape instead of sinking through the shoulders. One more deep inhale. Exhaling it out. On this round of breath, on the inhale, start to lift the hips, and on the exhale, starting to let the heels descend towards the mat, coming into first downward dog, and immediately starting to pedal the heels, lifting in alternate ways to find length and extension through the back of the leg as you make your way into your first downward dog of the morning. As you settle into your downward dog here, maybe shortening your stance, and then really lifting the hips up and back as you let that heart melt towards the earth, gaze towards the navel. more breath here. Reaching that right heel high, toes to the sand, coming into a three-legged dog for just one moment, and then stepping that right foot between the hands, lowering the back knee, untuck the back toes. On the inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. Keeping both hip points towards the ocean, maybe leaning into that front foot a little bit more to get a stretch on that front hip flexor. Beautiful. Take a deep inhale. On the exhale, bring the palms to center, twisting towards Malibu. Elbow connects to that front thigh. Plug into the palms of your hands, energetically to spin that heart a little higher as you twist and open towards Malibu. Beautiful. Separate the palms. Bring the left hand to the sand, right hand to the sun. Tuck the back toe and lift the back knee. We're coming up with a twisted crescent lunge. So the back leg is on just the ball of the foot, but the knee is extended. Front knee has a deep bend, and you're spinning that heart high. Beautiful. Slowly lower the back knee back down to the sand and untuck the toe. And then take that front leg and sweep it around, coming into a modified side plank. So the top leg is still on the sand. The shin is on the ground from that left side. And then as you find stability, maybe start to float that right leg up off of the sand, keeping the toes pointed towards Malibu. Beautiful. Core tight, pushing the earth away so you're not sinking into that hand. Lowering the foot down, squaring it off, and then coming to the top of a plank. Shifting the weight forward over the fingers. Option to drop the knees, lowering all the way down onto your belly. As you get there, untuck the toes, shoulders roll back. Inhale, cobra. Tuck the toes, exhale, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, lift the heels, gaze forward, float, hop, walk, jump to the top of your mat. Relaxing the crown of the head as you arrive. On the inhale, start to lift and lengthen that spine, fingertips towards the shins, exhale, forward fold. Root to rise all the way up, arms sweep up on the inhale, hands touch at the top and come to heart center, exhale and pause. Inhaling it up. Chair pose. As you exhale, hands come to heart center. Beautiful. Wiggle those toes, make sure the weight is in the heels, sending those hips back. Slowly start to release the hands down to the earth and step back to the top of your plank. 3 rounds of breath here. Inhale, exhale, inhale. Engage your glutes, lifting the kneecaps up away from the sand. On this next inhale, start to lift the pelvis. On the exhale, coming to downward dog. Pressing the heels towards the sand, heart towards your mat, gaze towards your navel, armpits lift up away from the earth. Start to float that left heel high, toes to the sand, 3-legged dog on your second side. Keep the weight pushing up and back so you're not dumping into those wrists, and then step that foot forward, lower the back knee, untuck the toes. Find your center here, find your stability through your core before you start to float the arms up into that low lunge. Beautiful, nice control that time. Maybe send the pelvis a little forward to get a little stretch in that hip flexor. Be mindful that the knees stay stacked over the ankle. Beautiful. Hands come into heart center. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Bring the elbow to connect to the thigh of the opposite side. Press energetically through the hands on your inhale. Maybe spin the heart open a little bit more on the exhale. Releasing that right hand down to the sand, left hand to the sun, tucking the back toes and then lifting that back knee, coming up into twisted crescent lunge. Energetically squeezing the inner thighs towards one another so you're not rolling out, keeping a deep bend in that front knee and full extension on that back leg. Deep inhale. On your exhale, maybe try to twist open a little bit more. Lowering the back knee, untuck the toes, You're gonna start to make a way around with that left leg coming into your modified side plank. Being mindful that your hips are stacked, your shoulders are stacked, and then engaging that core, pushing the earth away, start to float that left leg up off of the sand, keeping the toes pointed towards Venice. Core is engaged tight, everything is long and lengthened. Try to feel expansive in this posture. Slowly lowering the leg, pivoting back around, top of a plank, stepping back with the leg, shifting forward and lowering down onto your belly as you exhale. Untuck the toes, shoulders roll back, elbows towards your spine as you inhale for cobra. Tucking the toes, exhale, downward facing dog. Bending the knees, heels high, gaze forward, step up, float to the top of your mat. Releasing the head in that forward fold as you arrive. And then on the inhale, finding length, fingertips to shins, heart lifts towards the ocean. Exhale, forward fold. Root to rise all the way up, arms sweep up overhead. Hands come to heart center. Inhale, arms come up. Chair pose, sitting the hips back, finding that space, trying to get the hamstrings parallel to the sand, heart stays high. Nice. Watching the knees, making sure they're not rolling inward, that they're not pronated, but they're tracking over that second and third toe. Beautiful. Now I want to take your arms up overhead and bring your heart a little higher so you're more vertical in your stance. Now sit back into the hips. There you go. Beautiful. On your next inhale, start to bring the arms, sweep them back by your sides, bring the crown of the head forward as you lift the heels, balancing on the balls of your feet. And then releasing the heels down, but bringing your heart back up as the arms swing up. Beautiful. One more time. As the arms descend back, the crown goes forward, heels lift away from the mat, and then heels descend down as your arms reach up, coming all the way up to standing. Little back bend here, cactusing the arms, pressing the pelvis towards the ocean, finding expansion through that heart center. Inhaling up. Hands come to heart center and pause. How are we feeling? Good? Good. Let's do some sun salutation. Okay. You both know that, so I won't talk too much. I'll just remind you of your breath. We'll flow, do 3 rounds together. Just coming into heart center. Bring your awareness back to your breath, to your body. Notice how you're feeling. If there's any spots of tension or tightness, acknowledge it, accept it, and then let it go. Where you are today is where you are tomorrow is tomorrow. So just be present in the moment. Take a deep inhale. Arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Lengthen the spine. Inhale. Gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold. Step back to the top of a plank. Inhale. Shifting the weight forward as you lower down into chaturanga. Exhale. Untuck the toes, shoulders back. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 1 round of breath in downward dog. See if you can expand the shape a little longer and stronger here. Bending the knees, heels high, gaze forward, step hop, float to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen the spine, gaze forward, heart through the shoulders. Exhale, forward fold. Root to rise, standing, sweeping the arms up the side on the inhale. Exhale, hands into heart center. Inhale, arms reach up. Try to reach longer with each inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Try to find a little more space in the vertebrae here. Exhale, forward fold, bringing the crown of the head down, the forehead to the shins a little deeper in this fold. Step back to the top of a plank. Strong core here as you shift the weight forward, keeping the pelvis lifted, the chest